Hey, yo, YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Black Privilege, and what I want to do right now is I want to dispel this myth that capitalism and socialism are always at odds with each other, and nothing could be further from the truth. In actuality, capitalism is a small subset of socialism in which people are allowed to keep around 10% of their profit so that they could continue to innovate and achieve and pass on human intelligence from one branch to another, continuing the innovation that we've become accustomed to. Socialism is not the war. Socialism is the playing field where conservatives and progressives battle it out for their intended goals. Now, conservatives, as the name implies, want to conserve the continued prosperity by practicing a form of laissez-faire capitalism. That's their ultimate end goal. Progressives, on the other hand, want to practice pure socialism, which is communist Marxism. The government is the referee, and the tools of which is everything from debate to civil unrest. The government only intervenes when there's civil unrest. You get me so far? Now, understanding that this is the game, you understand what each side are trying to achieve. Because if we look at the tenets of socialism, you'll see that they want the public or collective ownership of the means of production, central planning of the economy, an emphasis on equality and economic security, and the goal of reducing class distinctions. Now, I would also add universal health care and universal suffrage, which means allowing people to vote and giving them health care at the gate, which would bring more people into America, thereby reducing the voting potential of conservatives. Now, of course, if I was a conservative, I would be voting for the Electoral College instead of universal suffrage. I would be voting for medical capitalism, so that, because you know what? Universal health care attracts brown people who won't pay for universal health care. I would be very adamant about being able to speak to a centralized authority because of my First and Second Amendment rights. And as far as my Second Amendment rights go, I would be unwilling to let them go in the face of confiscation of the means of production. That's the bottom line. Those are your players. Progressives versus conservatives. Conservatives want a small government because they're afraid of government. Progressives want a big government because they believe government is going to provide them with all the things that they need. Now, women and feminists tend to gravitate towards progressivism because they really can't compete with men on an economic scale, in manual labor, or in, when it comes to like violence or anything. So they will petition the state to be a little bit bigger so that their needs are met. Women and feminists gravitate towards progressivism because that's where their employment is going to come. And that's why men probably never going to really get along with feminists, because, college professors, their job is to reduce the playing field, to level out the playing field in their own classroom by telling men that they suck, that they're oppressive tyrants, that they're sexist, ableist, transphobic, homophobic, yada, yada, yada. Their job is to make sure that men don't suffer from the Dunning-Kruger effect, which is the level of confidence versus the level of ignorance. They want to tell you that you're ignorant every single day. Feminists don't like men for that reason. That went on a tangent. What I'm trying to say is progressivism versus conservatism is the real battle. Laissez-faire capitalism as a goal and Marxist communism as a goal is the end result of our continued discussions. And the battlefields are waged in the voting booths, the judges' tables, and our legislation. So make your arguments strong and have at it. It's your boy, Black Privilege, and I'm out. Peace.